time is running out. By 2030, students who don't understand artificial intelligence won't just struggle. They'll be irrelevant, not because they aren't smart, not because they didn't try, but because the world moved faster than their education. Right now, AI is reshaping jobs, governments, creativity, medicine, and democracy itself. Yet most students are still being prepared for a world that no longer exists. So here's the real question. Are we preparing students for the future, or are we just training them to be replaced by it? Before we go any further, do this one thing. If you care about education, your career, or your children's future, subscribe now. This channel breaks down the systems shaping the next decade, without the hype and without the lies. If you stay uninformed, the cost will be very real. Now, let's talk about what no school system is ready to admit. Why 2030 changes everything. Every generation faces technological change, but this one is different. AI is not just another tool. It's not just faster software. It is a decision-making system that operates at a scale humans simply cannot compete with. Since 2024, AI capabilities have accelerated at a rate we've never seen before. AI agents can now write and debug software, manage entire business workflows, analyze legal cases in seconds, and generate entire films, music, and books. They can simulate cities and climate systems and monitor our health in real time. This means something critical. AI is no longer just assisting humans. In many cases, humans are now supervising AI, and that shift changes everything. By 2030, the baseline expectation for any professional job will be AI fluency, not specialization. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, journalists, designers, entrepreneurs, all of them will be expected to understand how AI systems think, how they fail, and how they influence outcomes. Students who don't get that will be at the mercy of systems they cannot question. That's why AI literacy is becoming as essential as reading and writing. Ignoring that fact is educational malpractice. So let's expose the biggest lie in AI education right now. Here's the lie we keep telling students: just learn how to use the tools. That is a trap. Tools change every few months. The principles behind them don't. A real global AI curriculum doesn't teach you which buttons to press. It teaches understanding. So what does every student actually need to know? Let's start with core skill number 1, advanced data literacy. AI runs on data, but most students are never taught how data actually works. By 2030, every student must understand how data is collected and who controls it, how biased data creates biased decisions, how real-time data streams can influence outcomes instantly, how synthetic data is generated when real data doesn't exist, and how privacy-preserving systems can learn without stealing our personal information. This matters because AI systems are already deciding who gets a loan, who gets hired, who gets flagged by law enforcement, and who gets medical attention first. If students don't understand data, they won't recognize discrimination when it happens. And if they can't recognize it, they can't fight it. Next is core skill number 2, AI ethics in the real world. Ethics can't be theoretical anymore. Students must face real-world questions, like who is responsible when an autonomous system causes harm? If an AI denies someone healthcare, who is accountable? If an autonomous delivery drone crashes and kills someone, who is legally liable? If an AI model makes a decision that no human fully understands, should it even be allowed to operate? By 2030, ethical ignorance won't be forgiven. Students need to learn about accountability frameworks, transparency requirements, bias detection, explainability, and governance rules, not as philosophy, but as applied survival knowledge. Because AI will not ask for your permission before it makes a decision. This leads us to core skill number 3, how generative AI and AI agents actually work. Students don't need to code every model from scratch, but they absolutely must understand what's happening under the surface. They need to know how language models generate text, how image and video models create media, and how AI agents can plan, execute, and adapt without constant human input. They also need to understand the limitations. AI can hallucinate. AI can sound completely confident and still be dead wrong. It can amplify misinformation at a terrifying scale, and it can behave unpredictably when different systems interact. This knowledge is the difference between someone who uses AI and someone who supervises it. And in the new economy, only the supervisors will stay relevant. Which brings me to the most important skill of all, critical thinking. The most dangerous myth about AI is that it's objective. It is not. AI reflects the data, the incentives, and the power structures behind it. That's why critical thinking becomes the new measure of intelligence. We need to shift our focus from just using AI to working with AI. The future belongs to people who can work in human-AI teams, not beneath them. Scientists are already using AI to test thousands of hypotheses before choosing one. Urban planners use AI simulations to predict infrastructure collapse decades in advance. But in every case, humans still have to set the goals, define the boundaries, interpret the results, override the failures, and accept responsibility. Students must be trained as AI supervisors, not passive consumers. This means we have to get much better at evaluating AI outputs. By 2030, misinformation won't look fake. It will look perfect. Students must learn how deepfakes are created and detected. They need to understand how AI-generated propaganda works and how bias emerges in self-learning systems. They need to internalize the fact that confidence does not equal correctness. A society that can't evaluate AI output is a society that can't evaluate truth. And that is how democracies fail. So, here's the harsh truth. The final skill is adaptability. AI is evolving faster than any curriculum ever designed. So students must learn how to learn continuously. This means adapting to new AI models, updating their mental frameworks, learning new prompting strategies, and understanding evolving regulations. In the AI era, memorization is weak. Adaptability is survival. Now, let's talk about the part nobody wants to say out loud. The global inequality problem. If AI education remains unequal, global inequality will explode. Students in wealthy regions will command AI systems. Students in under-resourced regions will be commanded by them. Without access to high-speed internet, cloud-based AI platforms, open educational models, and teacher retraining, entire nations risk becoming digitally dependent colonies. This isn't about charity. It's about global stability. That's why international collaboration is no longer optional. We need shared curricula, open access models, and massive investment in upskilling teachers, because knowledge monopolies create power monopolies. Let's be honest about why schools are struggling with this. Most education systems are not designed for this kind of speed. Curricula change slowly, teachers are overworked, assessments are outdated, and institutions naturally resist disruption. But in this case, delay is far more dangerous than change. We must retrain teachers across all subjects. We have to integrate AI literacy into math, science, civics, and even the arts. We have to replace static exams with adaptive evaluations that measure critical thinking. And we must teach these concepts early, not as optional electives in high school. Waiting until 2030 means we've already failed. So, what must happen now? This isn't abstract, it's actionable. For educators, teach AI ethics in civics, teach data reasoning in science, use AI-assisted writing tools, but pair them with critical reflection. Teach students how to question AI outputs, not just accept them. For policymakers, mandate a baseline of AI literacy in national standards, fund widespread teacher retraining, support open AI education platforms that ensure access for everyone. And for parents, ask what your child's school is teaching about AI. Encourage critical thinking, not blind tool usage. Treat an understanding of AI as absolutely essential, not just a nice to have. The cost of our collective ignorance will be permanent. This isn't just about jobs, it's about agency. The ability to question systems, to challenge decisions, to understand power, and to shape technology instead of being shaped by it. If we fail to teach AI literacy on a global scale, we are creating a future where only a select few understand the rules, and everyone else is forced to live inside them. That is not progress. That is surrender. So if this message matters to you, like this video so it reaches more educators and policymakers. Subscribe if you want clear analysis of the systems shaping our future, and share this with anyone who still thinks AI education can wait, because the AI future isn't coming, it's already here, and the only question left is this: will the next generation understand the systems running their lives, or will they live under them without ever knowing how they work? Thanks for watching.